November 23, 1943. Kure Naval Arsenal, Japan. The morning mist clings to the steel hull like a shroud. Commander Takeshi Yamamoto steps aboard the captured American vessel, his polished boots echoing against unfamiliar deck plating. The ship smells of foreign oil and American tobacco. Around him, a team of Japan's finest naval engineers and intelligence officers move with methodical precision, measuring, photographing, documenting every rivet and weld seam. This is not the first captured Liberty ship they have examined. It is the 127th. The vessel before them appears unremarkable, simple lines, basic construction, functional rather than elegant. To untrained eyes, it represents nothing more than another enemy transport sunk by Japanese submarines and salvaged for study. But Commander Yamamoto and his team are not untrained eyes. They are the Imperial Navy's most experienced analysts, tasked with understanding American maritime capabilities. What they are about to discover will shatter every assumption the Japanese Empire holds about industrial warfare. The numbers they will compile over the coming weeks will reveal a truth so staggering that some officers will initially refuse to believe their own calculations. America is not simply building ships faster than Japan can sink them. America has created an industrial infinity that renders traditional naval strategy obsolete. The Liberty ship program began as an emergency measure. In 1940, as German U-boats ravaged British merchant fleets in the North Atlantic, Britain desperately needed cargo vessels to survive. American shipbuilders, led by industrialist Henry Kaiser, proposed a radical solution: mass-produce simple, welded cargo ships using assembly line techniques borrowed from automobile manufacturing. The design was deliberately basic. Based on a proven British tramp steamer, the Liberty ship sacrificed speed and elegance for reliability and production efficiency. Each vessel measured 441 feet long, displaced 14,245 tons, and could carry 9,140 tons of cargo. They were powered by antiquated triple-expansion steam engines that many naval architects considered obsolete. Critics dubbed them floating coffins and ugly ducklings. But Henry Kaiser understood something that traditional shipbuilders did not. Modern warfare would be won not by the most sophisticated vessels, but by the nation that could produce the most vessels fastest. Kaiser revolutionized shipbuilding by breaking down construction into prefabricated sections that could be assembled by semi-skilled workers. Welding replaced riveting. Production lines replaced individual craftsmanship. The first Liberty ship, the SS Patrick Henry, was launched on September 27, 1941. President Franklin Roosevelt attended the ceremony, declaring these vessels would create a bridge of ships to carry democracy's arsenal to embattled allies. Few observers, American or foreign, grasped the true significance of that moment. Japanese naval intelligence monitored these developments with interest but little concern. Japan's naval tradition emphasized quality over quantity. Their ships were marvels of engineering precision, built by craftsmen who had perfected their skills over generations. The Yamato-class battleships represented the pinnacle of naval architecture, each vessel requiring years of meticulous construction. American shipbuilding appeared chaotic by comparison. Workers with minimal experience welded steel plates while master shipwrights watched in horror. Naval purists predicted these hastily built vessels would break apart in heavy seas. Japanese planners calculated that America's industrial enthusiasm would quickly exhaust itself against the realities of complex marine engineering.
They were catastrophically wrong. By 1942, Kaiser's shipyards were launching Liberty ships at an unprecedented pace. What had begun as a British emergency program transformed into an American industrial juggernaut. Richmond's Shipyard No. 2, Kaiser's flagship facility, launched its first Liberty ship 244 days after groundbreaking. Within 18 months, the same yard was completing vessels in 45 days. The numbers defied comprehension. In 1942, American shipyards delivered 597 Liberty ships. In 1943, they completed 1,896 vessels. Peak production reached a ship every 12 hours. Kaiser's Richmond yards employed 90,000 workers operating around the clock in 3 shifts. Welders who had never seen the ocean 6 months earlier now fabricated ocean-going vessels with assembly line precision. Japanese intelligence struggled to verify these reports. Such production rates seemed impossible by any rational engineering standard. Japan's largest shipyards, utilizing centuries of accumulated expertise, required 6 months to complete a single cargo vessel. American claims suggested they were building equivalent ships in 6 weeks. Admiral Isoroku Yamamoto, architect of the Pearl Harbor attack, privately expressed growing concern about American industrial capacity. His staff assured him that reported production figures were propaganda exaggerations. No nation could sustain such manufacturing intensity. American quality control would collapse. Workers would exhaust themselves. Raw materials would be depleted. But the evidence arriving from the Pacific contradicted these assumptions. Japanese submarines reported increasing numbers of American cargo vessels operating throughout the Pacific. Convoy sizes grew larger. Shipping schedules became more frequent. Most troubling, the vessels appeared well constructed despite their rapid production. The Imperial Navy faced an uncomfortable reality. Their submarine campaign, initially devastating to Allied shipping, was failing to reduce overall cargo capacity. For every Liberty ship sunk, 2 more appeared to take its place. Japanese submarine commanders, accustomed to creating shipping shortages through successful attacks, now reported target-rich environments with more vessels than they could possibly engage. Traditional naval mathematics no longer applied. Japan had planned their submarine warfare based on the assumption that sinking merchant vessels faster than enemies could replace them would strangle Allied supply lines. But America had fundamentally altered the equation by making replacement vessels faster and cheaper to build than submarines could sink them. This revelation would become clear only through systematic analysis of captured vessels. Each Liberty ship represented not just a single cargo capacity, but a window into American industrial philosophy that would reshape modern warfare forever. Chief Naval Constructor Hiroshi Fujimoto approaches each captured Liberty ship like a surgeon examining a patient. His team disassembles entire sections, cataloging every component, from engine bolts to navigation equipment. What they discover contradicts everything Japanese naval architecture represents. American construction prioritizes standardization over customization. Every Liberty ship uses identical engines, identical propellers, identical electrical systems. Parts are interchangeable between vessels. A generator removed from one ship fits perfectly into another. This standardization enables mass production, but theoretically compromises performance optimization. Yet performance data gathered from captured vessels tells a different story. Despite their basic design, Liberty ships consistently achieve their rated speeds and cargo capacities. Their welded hulls, initially dismissed as inferior to riveted construction, prove remarkably durable under combat conditions. Several captured vessels show battle damage that would have sunk traditionally built ships, yet they remained operational. Most significantly, construction quality remains consistent across different shipyards and time periods. Early Liberty ships built in 1942 show identical construction standards to vessels completed in 1943. American quality control systems maintain uniformity despite employing tens of thousands of inexperienced workers. Lieutenant Commander Kenji Nakamura specializes in production analysis. His calculations revealed the true scope of American industrial mobilization. Each Liberty ship requires approximately 250,000 man-hours to complete. Kaiser shipyards alone employ over 200,000 workers. Simple multiplication suggests impossible production capabilities. But the numbers prove accurate. American shipbuilding capacity expands geometrically rather than arithmetically. New shipyards open monthly. Existing facilities double, then triple their capacity. Worker productivity increases through improved techniques and specialized tooling. Nakamura's intelligence network reports 18 major shipyard complexes dedicated exclusively to Liberty ship production. Each complex operates multiple building ways simultaneously. Richmond, Baltimore, Houston, Portland. Names that previously held no strategic significance now represent industrial fortresses, producing vessels faster than the Imperial Navy can track them. The strategic implications are staggering. America has transformed shipbuilding from craftsmanship into manufacturing. They treat cargo vessels like automobiles, producing standardized units through mechanized processes. This approach enables scaling that traditional shipbuilding cannot match. Admiral Chuichi Nagumo, commander of the Pearl Harbor Strike Force, reviews intelligence reports with growing unease. The America he attacked in December 1941 possessed a formidable but finite industrial base. The America revealed through Liberty ship analysis represents something unprecedented in naval history. Japanese naval strategy assumed that decisive early victories would force American negotiation before their industrial advantages could be mobilized. The plan required defeating American naval forces quickly, then negotiating from a position of strength, while America struggled to rebuild their shattered fleets. But Liberty ship production suggests America never intended to negotiate. They planned for extended warfare from the beginning, creating industrial systems designed to outproduce any possible enemy. The vessels being captured in 1943 were ordered in 1941, before Pearl Harbor, indicating long-term strategic preparation. This revelation undermines fundamental Japanese assumptions about American character and resolve. Japanese planners expected Americans to seek quick resolution to avoid prolonged sacrifice. Instead, America appears to have embraced total industrial mobilization as their primary war strategy, accepting short-term losses to achieve long-term production superiority. Petty Officer Yoshio Tanaka has served aboard Japanese merchant vessels for 15 years. He understands ship construction intimately, having watched craftsmen shape steel with traditional techniques passed down through generations. Examining his first Liberty ship, he experiences profound cognitive dissonance. The vessel before him should not exist. Its construction violates every principle of proper shipbuilding he has learned. Welds replace carefully crafted riveted joints. Standardized components substitute for custom-fitted parts. Assembly line techniques override individual craftsmanship. Yet the ship clearly functions. Its engines run smoothly, its hull shows no stress fractures, its cargo holds demonstrate proper engineering despite their utilitarian appearance. Everything Tanaka believed about shipbuilding quality proves wrong. This psychological impact extends throughout the examination teams. Officers trained to recognize superior engineering through elegant design struggled to accept that crude-appearing vessels can achieve equivalent performance. The cognitive dissonance creates doubt about Japanese technical superiority that has sustained naval morale since the war began. Some team members initially refused to believe their own measurements. They re-examined construction details, searching for hidden flaws that would explain apparent American success. Finding none, they questioned their own competence rather than accept that alternative construction methods might prove equally effective. Economic analyst Captain Saburo Hayashi calculates the resource implications of Liberty ship production. Each vessel requires approximately 2,770 tons of steel, representing raw materials that America diverts from other military production. Japanese economic planners initially viewed this as advantageous, assuming cargo ship construction would reduce American capacity for warship production. But detailed analysis reveals the opposite effect. America has expanded total steel production to accommodate both programs simultaneously. Liberty ship construction creates additional industrial capacity rather than competing with existing programs. Shipyards built for cargo vessels can be converted to warship production when needed. More disturbing, Liberty ship construction appears economically sustainable indefinitely. American steel production exceeds Japanese capabilities by factors of 10 or more. Their aluminum, copper, and rubber resources dwarf Japanese reserves. They possess virtually unlimited energy resources through domestic oil production and hydroelectric capacity. The economic warfare implications are devastating. Japan planned to exhaust American resources through prolonged conflict, forcing negotiation when costs became unbearable. But American resource abundance renders this strategy impossible. They can sustain Liberty ship production while simultaneously expanding every other aspect of military manufacturing. Intelligence Officer Major Hiroshi Sato tracks Liberty ship production schedules with growing alarm. Initial estimates suggested American shipbuilding would peak in 1943, then decline as resources became strained. Instead, production continues accelerating through 1943 and into 1944. The acceleration appears systematic rather than coincidental. American shipbuilders continuously improve construction techniques, reducing completion times while maintaining quality standards. Worker productivity increases through experience and better tooling. Production bottlenecks are systematically identified and eliminated. Most ominously, Liberty ship production represents only one component of American industrial mobilization. Simultaneous programs produce destroyers, cruisers, aircraft carriers, submarines, aircraft, tanks, artillery, and small arms at comparable rates. The same industrial philosophy that creates cargo vessels in 45 days applies to every category of military equipment. Timeline analysis suggests American military production will peak in 1944 at levels that exceed total Japanese industrial capacity. By 1945, American production advantages will become so overwhelming that Japanese resistance becomes mathematically impossible, regardless of tactical skill or strategic innovation. This represents the most chilling revelation of the Liberty ship analysis. America has not simply outproduced Japanese expectations. They have created industrial systems that guarantee victory through sheer manufacturing volume, making Japanese strategic planning irrelevant. December 15, 1943, Imperial Navy Headquarters, Tokyo. Commander Yamamoto spreads 127 manila folders across the conference table. Each folder contains detailed analysis of a captured Liberty ship. Together, they represent the most comprehensive intelligence assessment of American maritime production capabilities ever compiled by any nation. The numbers demand silence. In 1943 alone, American shipyards completed 1,896 Liberty ships. Each vessel required an average of 42 days to build. Peak production rates achieved one ship every 24 hours across all American shipyards combined. Total cargo capacity delivered in a single year exceeded Japan's entire merchant marine fleet. But these statistics, as staggering as they appear, represent only the beginning of America's industrial revelation. Yamamoto's team has calculated replacement rates versus destruction rates with mathematical precision. Japanese submarines, operating at maximum effectiveness, sink approximately 150 Allied cargo vessels per month throughout the Pacific. American shipyards replace those losses in less than 4 days. The mathematics of industrial warfare have become inexorable. For every successful Japanese submarine attack, America launches 3 replacement vessels. For every month of successful interdiction, America adds net cargo capacity equivalent to Japan's largest merchant shipping company. Admiral Koga, Yamamoto's replacement as combined fleet commander, studies the intelligence summary with visible dismay. The implications extend far beyond simple cargo capacity. Each Liberty ship represents raw materials, manufacturing capability, worker productivity, and industrial systems that America can deploy toward military production. How certain are these calculations? Koga asked. Yamamoto's response carries the weight of mathematical certainty. We have verified construction times through multiple sources. Aerial reconnaissance confirms reported shipyard capacity. Captured vessels demonstrate consistent quality across all production facilities. The numbers are accurate. The silence that follows encompasses more than statistical verification. It represents the moment when Japan's naval leadership comprehends the true scope of their strategic miscalculation. They had planned for war against American naval forces. Instead, they face war against American industrial capacity that exceeds their ability to meaningfully degrade.
Staff Officer Captain Nakamura provides the calculation that will haunt Japanese strategic planning for the remainder of the war. At current production rates, America will complete over 2,700 Liberty ships in 1944. Combined with existing merchant vessels and new construction of faster cargo ships, American maritime capacity will exceed 25 million deadweight tons by year's end. Japan's entire merchant marine, including vessels under construction, totals less than 6 million deadweight tons. American maritime expansion in a single year exceeds Japan's total national capacity accumulated over decades. But cargo capacity represents only the most visible aspect of American industrial superiority. Liberty ship construction requires steel production, engine manufacturing, electrical systems production, and countless subsidiary industries. The same industrial base that produces 2,700 cargo ships annually also manufactures aircraft, tanks, artillery, ammunition, and every other category of military equipment. Intelligence estimates suggest American aircraft production will reach 100,000 units in 1944. Tank production approaches 30,000 vehicles. Artillery production exceeds Japanese manufacturing by factors of 20 or more. In every measurable category, American industrial output surpasses Japanese capabilities by margins that render tactical superiority irrelevant. The final revelation emerges from production trend analysis. American Liberty ship construction is not approaching peak capacity. It continues accelerating. Shipyard efficiency improves monthly. Worker productivity increases through experience and better techniques. Construction times decrease while quality standards improve. More ominously, Liberty ship construction represents America's first attempt at mass production shipbuilding. Newer programs already under development will produce faster, more capable vessels using the same industrial techniques. The Liberty ship serves as a prototype for American maritime mass production that will transform global shipping after the war ends. Emperor Hirohito receives the intelligence summary on December 20, 1943. The document represents the first comprehensive assessment of America's true industrial capabilities since Pearl Harbor. What it reveals contradicts every assumption upon which Japanese strategy was based. America did not enter the war unprepared, as Japanese planners believed. They entered with comprehensive industrial mobilization plans that anticipated extended global conflict. Pearl Harbor provided the political catalyst for implementing industrial programs already designed and waiting for implementation. The Liberty ship program exemplifies American strategic thinking. Rather than responding to immediate tactical requirements, America created industrial systems capable of sustained production regardless of short-term losses. They planned not for specific battles, but for industrial campaigns lasting years. Japanese strategy assumed that early tactical victories would force American negotiation before their industrial advantages could be mobilized. But Liberty ship analysis proves America never intended to negotiate. They designed their entire war effort around sustained industrial production that would eventually overwhelm any possible enemy through sheer manufacturing volume. Admiral Koga formally presents the Liberty ship analysis to the Supreme War Council on December 22, 1943. His presentation occupies 3 hours, methodically detailing every aspect of American industrial superiority revealed through systematic vessel examination. The conclusion is mathematically inescapable. Japan cannot sink American cargo vessels faster than America can build them. This fundamental imbalance renders Japanese submarine warfare strategically ineffective, regardless of tactical successes. But the implications extend beyond maritime warfare. The same industrial philosophy that produces Liberty ships in 42 days applies to every category of American military manufacturing. Japan faces an enemy capable of replacing losses faster than Japanese forces can inflict them, in every category of warfare simultaneously. Some council members initially reject these conclusions, arguing that reported American production figures must represent propaganda exaggerations. But captured vessel analysis provides irrefutable physical evidence. Each Liberty ship examined represents tangible proof of American industrial capabilities that cannot be dismissed as intelligence deception. The acceptance of industrial defeat does not lead to immediate surrender discussions. Japanese military culture cannot easily accommodate acknowledgement of fundamental strategic failure. Instead, the leadership seeks alternative approaches that might offset American industrial advantages through tactical innovation or strategic redirection. But privately, informed Japanese leaders understand that mathematical certainty has replaced strategic optimism. America's industrial infinity, revealed through systematic analysis of 127 captured Liberty ships, demonstrates that Japanese victory has become arithmetically impossible, regardless of battlefield performance. January 1944 marks a fundamental shift in Japanese naval strategy. The Liberty ship intelligence assessment forces abandonment of long-term strategic planning based on achieving industrial parity with America.
Instead, Japanese naval operations focus on maximizing short-term tactical damage while resources remain available. Submarine warfare doctrine changes dramatically. Rather than targeting cargo vessels to create supply shortages, Japanese submarines receive orders to prioritize high-value military targets that cannot be quickly replaced. Aircraft carriers, battleships, and cruisers become primary objectives, while merchant vessels receive secondary consideration. This strategic pivot reflects mathematical reality revealed through Liberty ship analysis. Sinking cargo vessels no longer degrades American military capability meaningfully, but destroying irreplaceable warships might delay American offensive operations long enough for Japan to consolidate defensive positions. The naval leadership implements desperate innovation programs seeking technological advantages that might offset American industrial superiority. Kaiten suicide submarines, Oka rocket-powered aircraft, and other unconventional weapons receive accelerated development funding. If Japan cannot match American production, perhaps they can achieve tactical effectiveness through technological asymmetry. But these programs require time and resources that Liberty ship analysis suggests Japan no longer possesses. American industrial acceleration continues throughout 1944, expanding production advantages faster than Japanese innovation can develop countermeasures. Strategic redirection. Admiral Toyoda, appointed as Koga's successor in May 1944, attempts to redirect Japanese naval strategy toward decisive battle concepts that might achieve victory despite industrial disadvantages. The Ago operation, designed to destroy American carrier forces in a single massive engagement, represents this strategic thinking. It assumes that destroying American naval aviation through tactical superiority might create strategic opportunities regardless of industrial imbalances. If Japanese carrier pilots can sink American flat tops faster than American shipyards can replace them, traditional naval warfare principles might reassert themselves. But Liberty ship analysis has already demonstrated the fallacy of this approach. American industrial capacity applies to warship construction as well as cargo vessel production. Essex-class aircraft carriers produced using similar mass production techniques emerge from American shipyards at unprecedented rates. Intelligence reports indicate that America will complete 24 new aircraft carriers in 1944, compared to Japan's total carrier force of 9 vessels accumulated over decades. Even perfect tactical performance cannot overcome such production imbalances when American losses are replaced faster than Japanese forces can inflict them.
The psychological impact of Liberty ship intelligence spreads throughout Japanese naval ranks, despite attempts to maintain operational security. Officers who participated in vessel examinations carry knowledge of American industrial superiority into their subsequent assignments. Commander Yamamoto observes growing fatalism among his intelligence staff. Men who previously approached their duties with professional confidence now perform analysis with the mechanical precision of statisticians documenting inevitable defeat. The mathematical certainty of American industrial advantages eliminates strategic optimism that previously sustained Japanese naval morale. This demoralization affects operational planning in subtle but significant ways. Japanese naval operations increasingly emphasize honor preservation over strategic effectiveness. Since victory has become mathematically impossible, operational objectives shift toward maintaining dignity rather than achieving meaningful military results. By late 1944, Liberty ship production reaches its intended peak as American maritime requirements approach satisfaction. Total construction exceeds 2,700 vessels for the year, representing more cargo capacity than most nations possess in their entire merchant fleets. But the program's strategic impact extends beyond simple vessel numbers. Liberty ship construction has demonstrated American industrial philosophy that will reshape global manufacturing after the war ends.
Mass production techniques, standardized components, and assembly line efficiency prove applicable to complex engineering projects previously considered suitable only for individual craftsmanship. Japanese post-war industrial planning, conducted in secrecy during 1944, acknowledges that traditional manufacturing approaches cannot compete with American industrial methods. If Japan survives the war, reconstruction will require adopting American-style mass production techniques despite their cultural incompatibility with Japanese craftsmanship traditions. Intelligence Officer Major Sato compiles final Liberty ship statistics in November 1944. American shipyards have completed 2,751 vessels during the year, exceeding even optimistic Japanese estimates of American industrial capacity. Total program completion approaches 2,700 ships, representing the largest maritime construction program in human history. These numbers carry strategic finality. American cargo capacity has become so overwhelming that Japanese interdiction efforts create no meaningful supply disruption. Allied forces operate throughout the Pacific with logistical abundance that eliminates traditional military constraints. More devastating, Liberty ship construction represents only one component of American industrial mobilization. Aircraft production has reached 96,000 units annually. Tank production exceeds 29,000 vehicles. Artillery, ammunition, small arms, and support equipment production achieves levels that dwarf total Japanese industrial output across all categories. The mathematical impossibility of Japanese victory, first revealed through Liberty ship analysis in late 1943, has become physical reality manifest in Pacific operations throughout 1944. American forces advance with material superiority so overwhelming that tactical skill becomes irrelevant to strategic outcomes.
By December 1944, Japanese naval planning shifts toward terminal operations designed to inflict maximum casualties on American forces while preserving Japanese military honor. The kamikaze program represents this strategic philosophy, accepting inevitable defeat while seeking to make American victory as costly as possible. This transformation reflects the complete strategic reorientation forced by Liberty ship intelligence analysis. Japanese naval doctrine, developed over decades of careful study and refinement, proves inadequate against an enemy whose industrial capacity renders traditional military calculations obsolete. Commander Yamamoto, now assigned to operational planning rather than intelligence analysis, observes this transformation with professional detachment. The same mathematical precision that revealed American industrial superiority through Liberty ship examination now calculates optimal methods for honorable defeat. The irony is not lost on Japanese naval leadership. Their most thorough intelligence success, the comprehensive analysis of captured American vessels, provided the information that demonstrated their inevitable strategic failure. Perfect knowledge of enemy capabilities proved more demoralizing than ignorant optimism might have been. In March 1945, the Liberty ship program officially ends with the completion of 2,710 vessels. American maritime capacity has expanded beyond all wartime requirements, creating surplus shipping that will dominate global commerce for decades. The industrial techniques developed for emergency cargo production will reshape manufacturing across every industry, establishing American industrial leadership that will persist long after military victory. The 127 Liberty ships examined by Japanese naval intelligence represented more than captured enemy vessels. They embodied a fundamental transformation in the nature of warfare itself. From conflicts decided by tactical skill and strategic innovation to industrial campaigns determined by manufacturing capacity and resource abundance.
Commander Yamamoto's methodical analysis revealed that modern war had become an industrial competition where victory belonged not to the most skillful military forces, but to the nation capable of producing military equipment faster than enemies could destroy it. The Liberty Ship program demonstrated that America understood this transformation and designed their entire war effort accordingly. Japan entered World War II believing that spiritual dedication and tactical superiority could overcome material disadvantages through decisive early victories. The Liberty Ship analysis proved that America never intended to fight such a war. They planned for extended industrial combat where victory would be achieved through sustained production rather than battlefield excellence. This revelation marked the end of traditional military strategy based on defeating enemy forces through tactical superiority. Future conflicts would be won by nations capable of replacing losses faster than enemies could inflict them, transforming warfare from contests of skill into competitions of industrial capacity. The mathematical certainty discovered through systematic examination of captured American vessels eliminated strategic uncertainty that had sustained military planning throughout human history. For the first time, one nation's industrial advantages became so overwhelming that tactical performance became strategically irrelevant. In the end, America's Liberty ships achieved victory not through superior design or tactical employment, but by existing in numbers that rendered Japanese resistance arithmetically futile. They represented industrial infinity made manifest, the transformation of manufacturing capacity into military destiny that would define global power relationships for generations to come. The lesson written in welded steel plates and mass-produced engines transcended any single conflict. Nations that mastered industrial mass production would dominate those that relied on traditional craftsmanship, regardless of cultural values or military traditions. America's industrial infinity, revealed through 127 captured vessels, demonstrated that the future belonged to those who could manufacture it fastest.